Good morning, Texas, and welcome spring. I'm here at the Dallas Arboretum where you have an opportunity to tiptoe through tens of thousands of tulips. I can't wait to give you a postcard. That's all coming up. GMT starts right now.
Live, this is Good Morning Texas.
Hello, my friends. Good morning, Texas. So glad you're hanging out with us this morning. Hopefully it was a little easier for you to wake up this morning. We're on the third day of daylight saving, and it is not getting any easier over here, but hopefully it was a little bit easier for you this morning. I'm Erin Hunter. So let's talk about it. What's coming up on the show today? Well, David and Tamela Mann, they are in the house because they have a huge tour coming up. I'm going to get a chance to sit down with them, catch up on what makes their love work, but also talk about the tour that's coming up. Plus, Cirque du Soleil, it is coming back to Lone Star Park, and one of the performers is here right now. She's actually right there warming up, and you guys, I cannot wait for you to see her. She is doing all sorts of mind-bending things, quite literally with her body. You're gonna want to stick around for that. But before we do all of the fun today, let's pop over to the Weather Center, see what's going on outside. Good morning to you, Greg.
Hey, good morning to you, Erin. Might not be too fun weather-wise a little bit later today heading into this evening. We do have the weather alert in place for today because of the strong potentially severe storms that we'll likely see a little bit later today. And it's all quiet out there right now, relatively. Some light rain, a few sprinkles taking you out to Denton right now. Warm, muggy, 71 degrees. Those south winds, 15 miles per hour here for you this morning. So a few showers were showing up there on the camera lens a little bit earlier out there in Denton. Coming back on the other end of the Metroplex, Cedar Hill, 71. Winds are going to be brisk out of the south, only 9 miles per hour, but we'll see some gusts, 15, 25 as we go through the day. Here's what it looks like on radar right now. Showers have picked up a little bit in Denton County. You see heading over into Collin County there between Louisville and Frisco, down toward Irving, over toward Dallas. A little light rain, a few sprinkles out toward Fort Worth as well. And this is what we're going to have over the next few hours between now and midday. Maybe a rumble or two of thunder as we head toward lunchtime today, but the thunderstorm threat does increase later today. So that's why we do have the weather alert in place. Strong, severe thunderstorms, hail, damaging winds will be the main concerns. That lower end tornado risk. Could see some heavy rain, especially during the overnight hours, maybe heading into early tomorrow. So make sure you do stay updated with the forecast today as we continue to get the latest information and keep you updated. Now, we do have that enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, west of I-35W for the hail and wind, that low tornado threat, and then that slight risk farther east, including the Metroplex there in areas farther east for the evening, early overnight hours as we head later into today. So that's going to be the primary concern, the hail and wind threat around the Metroplex, that tornado threat a little higher farther west where we do have that enhanced risk. So here's what it looks like with our timecast. Heading toward midday, showers start to pick up a little bit, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two, and still kind of isolated to scattered in nature as we head home around 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. But the widespread rain and thunderstorms develop out to our west, and those begin to move in. As we get into this evening, that's when that severe weather threat really begins to ramp up across the area as we head toward midnight. And I do think we'll carry those rain and storm chances probably on into the overnight hours as well for some as we head into tomorrow morning. So as you look ahead to the morning rush tomorrow, things start to taper off a little bit, but then we'll have more storms pushing a little farther east as we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the show. We'll finally get some drier air moving in later this week as well. More on that in a little bit later. But now, Erin, back over to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg, for keeping us up to date. Like I just said, if you're still struggling to get up in the morning after the time change this weekend, you are not alone. According to Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, about 55% of Americans experience tiredness following that spring switch. So Dr. Mary Collings is the official chiropractor for the Dallas Mavs and the Dallas Stars, but she joins me this morning with so much more on how you can improve your sleep technique. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you. So first, why do you think so many people dread daylight saving time, and why is it such a week of fatigue, especially when it's only an hour difference?
I think it's the overwhelming, like this artificial shift change of time. It's like all of a sudden people are like, oh no, I'm going to lose an hour of sleep, and it's going to and it just makes everybody kind of get a little bit stressed and thinking, oh no, how am I going to get it back?
Yes.
Well, we can't gain our sleep back, but I think it's because we've got a little bit like the darker in the morning and a little lighter in the evening, and so our circadian rhythms get off a little bit.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one because yes, driving to work and it's still dark outside, I'm like, what is actually happening? I should still be asleep. Right. But it sounds like a lot of people could use some help in this area. Me too. So how big of a problem is sleep deprivation normally?
You know, there's statistics that say that there's probably about 1.2 million different people lose lose their jobs, lose the time that they're spending into the education side of it, and it costs us an upper level of like like $400 million in loss of productivity.
My gosh, okay.
year.
That's insane when you think about it, but that makes sense when you think about it as a whole. Let's talk solutions though, because we all want to feel better when we get up in the morning. But you say we should start before we even get to the bedroom. So what is a consistent wind down routine? What does that look like?
I think a wind down routine should be somewhere between 30 to 60 minutes. And like a 60-minute wind down routine would be perfect for the evening. Yeah. So if we can always start with just like, starting to like, they say a 3-2-1, 3 hours before sleep, no alcohol, no food. 2 hours before sleep, no water. And then 1 hour before sleep, no blue light.
No phone, no TV.
No phones, no iPads, nothing, which is very hard. Because I think we all that's what we gravitate towards. Right?
That's how a lot of people wind down in the first place, is by doom scrolling. But okay, no blue light, no alcohol, and then what was the 2?
And then also no, like the food 2 hours before. Try to have all your meals before 2 hours before.
Yeah, because the digestion, okay, when you lay down is different. Now, once you get into the bed, it's time to put the phones away, like you said. Why is that blue light so detrimental, though?
Blue light tends to stops melatonin. Melatonin is our hormone that we need for sleep. So when it suppresses it, and so then makes us stay awake longer. So
my goodness. Okay, that makes so much sense, though. Yes. So you say also that your sleeping matters. So how can people make sure that they have the best position so they don't wake up with a sore back or a sore shoulder? I tend to do that a lot. Even the neck too.
And sometimes it's just figuring your position. I think on the back or on the side is the best position, but our bodies are designed to roll at night. We need to move at night because that's how we balance our inner ear, is by turning our heads right and left. Yeah. And so, but we need to do that. We need to move without waking up. That's the key. And to be not sore when we do it. Sometimes it's the type of mattress that we use, which I'm a big fan of individual coiled mattresses. And so I think that's the important part, is that we try to, find the lack of pressure points, right? So like one of my favorite beds it's actually made here in Addison, Texas.
Nice.
But it's got 400 individual coils that all have their own brain. So they adjust to you in real time. So every time when you roll over, it stops the pressure point. So then we wake up less sore, so we have better sleep, and we are much more productive.
It's like a Tempur-Pedic, but local. I like
it.
I like that.
A
little bit better, indeed. Okay, but tell me, because I love the idea of a nap. So how do you feel about naps in the middle of the day?
I think naps are okay. I think they need between, if a normal work day, I think between 1 and 3 p.m. I think is probably the best, and maybe 20 minutes, no more than 30 minutes, so that way we don't lose sleep later.
Yes.
But I think, and even if it's just a quiet, close your eyes, just kind of a little meditation, maybe kind of consider it, but a little quiet time I think is always welcome.
Okay, so more of a cat nap or more of a quiet time meditation rather than a full REM deep sleep.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that. Now, how have you helped your clients get a better sleep, especially because most of them are athletes?
Well, a lot of it's more of education, trying to teach them how to do better routines. So especially with the athletes, it's hard because they're flying all the time. So, they work, then they fly, then they've got to, go to hotels. But teaching them how to do a wind down routine so that way they can kind of do it. But for average patients, teaching posture, teaching routines, teaching ergonomics makes them better.
Oh my goodness, I like that. Give them a plan so that they can do it for themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Very good. Okay, so if someone out there is thinking, okay, I have been struggling with my sleep for a long time, but way before daylight saving even came around, tell me, where can we find you so that they can get the help they need?
My website is drmarycollings.com, and then I also would like to recommend Ceridian.com.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge this morning. We appreciate it. Okay. All the single moms watching this morning, I want you to take a second, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and visualize your perfect self-care day, whether it's at the beach, a nature trail, or simply just being at home alone. It may be spring break for the kiddos, but it's important for moms to take a break for themselves as well. So this morning, Dr. Kimberly Pearson is here, along with Kimberly Williams from Interfaith Family Services, with more on why self-care is essential for single mothers. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Okay, I love that you said good morning together, and they're both Kimberlys. This is so much fun. All right, Dr. Pearson, I'm coming to you first. Why is self-care such an important topic, especially for single moms?
Well, self-care is typically a buzzword that we hear very casually.
Yes.
However, self-care is really hard. It's a very difficult thing to manage, especially for single moms, because single moms have to take care of everything. They have to take care of the kids. They have to take care of the home. And they're working as well. And so they can become depleted to the extent that they hit burnout very early. When that happens, that affects the whole entire family. and it could destabilize the family, and it could cause a lot of dysfunction in the family system.
Yes, yes. When I hear people talking, especially about their kids, usually you hear surface level, like we're just trying to get through the day. Let me just get dinner on the table. But then you got to think about, like, the moms are also thinking about the doctor's appointments and the activities and all the things that come after that as well. And so you recently led a self-care and self-love workshop with Interfaith Family Services. So why was that so important to you?
Well, I love Interfaith Family Services. Let me just start there, because a lot of time when the mothers come to Interfaith, they're coming at a time of crisis, and so getting to helping them reset immediately, quickly, is essential to getting the family back in stable, getting them stable. So. At this self-care workshop, we did a vision board to allow them to reset and think about who do they want to be.
Yes.
Who do they want to be with, and where are they drawing their strength? And if they can focus on those 3 questions, they're able to move with intention and focus, and they can reset really quickly.
You almost feel a little bit lighter as well when you can have an outlet, right? It's like, okay, it is possible for me to get through this day. It might be a little challenging, but I'm going to lean in and all will be well, right? So, Kimberly, I'm coming to you now. I have to decipher between you guys. Can you remind us more about what Interfaith Family Services is, what your mission is?
Sure. So Interfaith exists to help families in crisis, primarily single moms, to overcome homelessness. So whether families are facing homelessness through eviction, we provide rent assistance, or if they find themselves homeless, we provide transitional housing on site. And we have a host of wraparound services, including training, childcare, and other things to help families get back on their feet.
Yes, okay, love that. But tell me, why was this workshop so beneficial to the population that you serve?
Well, as Dr. Pearson said, our moms come to us experiencing some of the worst days of their lives when they find themselves and their children homeless. And so as a result, there's so much pressure, so much, sometimes even guilt that comes along with having these types of struggles. And in order to start the process of rebuilding their lives, they first have to put their oxygen mask on themselves. And that's why for us, Dr. Pearson has been such an exceptional partner, not only through the workshops that she provides, but also through the counseling that she provides for families. So that is an essential part of being in the right headspace to then begin the rebuilding process.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this is, I'm sure, one of many solutions for single moms out there who are on a hard time. Do you guys have any other things that we should know about?
For us, it's really important that moms seek support when they're struggling. So whether that, if you're struggling financially, whether that's reaching out to Interfaith, or if you're struggling mentally, finding the right type of therapist or counseling support, because the whole family depends on them. And so I know it's easy to focus on everyone else's needs, but we're here today just to remind moms that it's incredibly important to focus on yourself.
They need love too, right?
Most
They're
definitely.
constantly pouring into everyone else's cups, and it's like, girl, I'm running out of water. Somebody pour in my cup. And so spring break is just around the corner. Many single moms will probably have their kids home all week, and so they're either looking forward to it or they're dreading it. So what are some simple ways that they can prioritize themselves during that week?
Well, first, I instruct single moms to relax and not spend all their time trying to be perfect, create the perfect environment, make sure everybody is looking a certain way, acting a certain way. It's a break. It's a break for a reason.
It's a time for them to run around without their hair done, okay? You don't need me, baby. I love that. Very good. Second Saturday is coming up very quickly. You guys actually have opportunities every second Saturday. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes, so this second Saturday, we're focusing on budgeting and home ownership just to prepare our moms for the future, so to help them think about what they want to do and how to create a roadmap to get there. And then simultaneously, we have programs for kids. We're launching a mentoring program for boys this second Saturday, so we're super excited about that.
You guys have so many things going on. I don't know how you guys keep up. You guys need your own self-care. Thank you for being here this morning, and happy early spring break.
Thank you.
Get ready to experience comedy, conversation, gospel music, and a whole lot of love, you guys. There is so much going to be happening and coming up. I've got David and Tamala Mann here to talk so much more about the tour that's coming up that they have, Love and Relationship. It is all about entertainment and their love and how it has come together over the years. So glad to have you guys here. Welcome back.
Good to be here again. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Okay, so before we dive into talking about the tour, we know you guys have had a wondrous relationship together, one that I think a lot of people look up to. 38 years
38
next
years.
month, which
Yes.
is so exciting. And you guys have done everything together. You guys have worked together. You guys have loved together. You've worshiped together. I mean, you've
Exactly.
even played her father on TV. You guys
All
have
of the
literally
stuff.
done everything. So tell me, what's the secret to this long marriage? Because there's a lot of people thinking, I want to be like y'all.
You know what? I think it's based on our friendship. I know, matter of fact, no, I know it's our foundation. It's our friendship, how we started out, singing together, and we've just grown, and it just grew into falling in love, and then here we are, 38 years
I
later.
love kind of morphed from our friendship.
Yes.
And see, so matter of fact, when we got married, everybody was like, when did y'all start dating?
Like when that happened.
Y'all were
be
brothers and
friends,
sisters. Yeah.
You know what? But that's the basis of a great relationship, is a friendship, and the fact that you guys have so much more than the love aspect, but you guys are
Yes.
besties as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
I want to know, though, who gets the last word in the house?
She has the loudest voice, so
I
her,
know him. I'll retract.
I have the most words, but she has the loudest words. So
yeah, I
we
can.
figured it out.
Okay, it sounds like you guys are hitting both points, though, so I don't even know who would win. But maybe it's not about winning, and maybe that's what makes your
That's
love
right.
work. It's
Exactly.
you versus the problem. And so the Love and Relationship Tour, it kicks off on April 10th in Houston, but it comes back to Dallas at the Majestic Theater, which is so exciting.
On the
And that will be
12th.
on the 12th.
Yes.
So what can people expect when they come? Who's all in the lineup?
The unexpected.
Oh, okay.
Expect it's an experience. It's not a concert. It's not a comedy show. It's not a podcast. It's all of that. It's all of the, because Tamala and I come out and we do music from our love album.
project.
Yes.
And then we have sit down and have intimate conversations about our 38 years of marriage and our 33 years in the industry.
And then we also have special guests. We'll actually do some real questions, conversation on life, on all the different relationships that we're dealing with in life. I mean, it's your relationship with your spouse, friend getting engaged, thinking about getting engaged, or just trying to figure out, navigate life even as friends and even in family members. So
And we'll sit down and have, like she says, some very special guests. Now in Dallas coming with us is Pastor Brian Carter. Oh yeah, I can't wait for him and his wife, him and First Lady to sit down.
That's gonna be good.
That's going to be great.
That is
to
gonna
sit
be a
down and get some
wonderful
insight
panel
on their life
discussion.
and their marriage and love and just coming from a standpoint of being a pastor.
Yeah.
You know, showing us that I can't wait.
It's
going
going
to
to be so good. Okay, but I want to get back to what you just said, because you guys said that you guys are going to perform some songs from you guys' Love album together. And so I feel like when you guys are on tour and you're doing this over and over, I almost feel like your love and your relationship is almost growing in this
It is
process
growing.
because it's such an intimate tour.
I'm both excited and nervous to be
But
singing
I'm
with
more
her.
excited because David is singing with me, y'all. He's singing with me.
It's the first time that we've been on
And
tour
I
we
mean,
sing together.
Yes, from you know, Us Against the World, and it's like really expressing about someone I love. I mean, I like him, and I'm still in love with him, so it just makes it that much more fun. So I told him, I said, don't pay attention to the audience, just look at me. We're gonna look at each other, and then it's gonna be like we're gonna forget that they're out
It's
there.
going to be like a movie.
is.
And we get to witness it, you guys. It's going to be so
see,
good.
That's just the first half.
Yes, and
The
then-
There's so much more.
The second half, I come out and I do a full comedy show.
yes.
I do a full comedy
On love
show
and
about
relationship,
love and relationship. Yeah.
And
I'm
then
gonna
I
have to
come
be in
out.
attendance to this.
Yeah.
This
You
sounds, I don't even got nobody to go with.
But it's for everybody. It's not for just married couples.
So
That's right.
anybody can come.
This is
Yes.
about relationship, whether it's your relationship with God, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with friends.
Friends, that's
It's
right.
about just rekindling and building a better relationship.
Yes, okay.
So that's why we named it the Love and Relationship Tour.
This is so good,
whether you're
you
even in a
guys.
situationship, you can come.
I'm not bringing my situationship to the door. I can tell you that right now. Okay, but let's talk about some of the other things that you guys have going on because you stay busy. I mean, you're doing all sorts of things, but I do want to talk about the fact that they are in the kitchen. Let's talk about your series on YouTube, Man Family Dinner. How did that get started?
You know, actually, me just cooking. I love to cook and love to see people eat. And we were cooking, and then it went into actually the seasonings. Actually, my son was like, "Mama, won't you do something? I mean, cook." And I was like, "I really don't want to cook. I don't want to talk. I just want to cook."
She didn't want to talk in the kitchen. She only wanted to cook.
You do the talking.
Yes, I said, let him do the talking. So I'm excited. I got excited, so I started doing it for
On
Mama
YouTube.
Mans Keeps on YouTube, and then I was health-wise, so I just wanted to do some things, change up a little bit, and I was like, we got to be healthier. We're getting older, so I started
The spice line.
mixing up some things, and I came up with the spice line.
And you guys, she let me try the spice line the last time she was here. It was absolutely divine. My mom and aunt literally tore it up for Thanksgiving.
Yes,
so very good, tried and true.
MamaMansKitchen.com. You can check those out.
So good. All right, tell me where and when and all the things, who, what, when, where, why, basically. Give me all the details on how we can get our hands on the
You
tickets
can
for
go
the tour.
to theloveandrelationshiptour.com, theloveandrelationshiptour.com, and put in the code LOVE10. That's love and the number 10.
There you go.
Put in love 10 and you'll give you a discount. Now put love 10 in before you buy your tickets.
Yes,
There
before
you,
you
go.
get your
So we can
seats.
get that tisk out. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys for being here this
Thank
morning.
you.
You guys have such infectious energy.
Thank you.
All right, let's switch gears. Prepare to be amazed. A little later on GMT, we get a hair-raising preview of Cirque du Soleil's new show, Echo Page.
Spring has sprung here at the Dallas Arboretum, where you have an opportunity to see over 500,000 tulips in all of their glory. I can't wait to tell you more. Michelle?
And the Mavericks, well, they did drop their 7th straight game at Toronto, but there was a bright spot. We share what it was when GMT continues right after the break.
It's time for Mavs Mania. The Mavs are off to a rough start this week, but with a few games on the books, we're hoping that they can turn some things around. So here to tell us what's happening is WFA sports reporter Michelle Montaigne. Good morning, my girl.
Good morning, Erin. I'm kind of sad we're now counting the rest of the season in a matter of weeks instead of months.
Yeah. Mavs coming off another loss, this time by way of like 30 points.
30 points.
My goodness,
30
to the
points.
Raptors.
Yeah.
But there's more to take away from this game than just the final score, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I would say the biggest thing for this game is that you look at a team like Toronto, who had been really kind of floundering. They had been struggling for their own stretch of time. And look at them now. I mean, 8th best defense in the league. They have a team that's a legitimate contender in the East. Of course, they're not like top tier. They're not the Knicks, they're not the Detroit Pistons, but even the Pistons are a good example of showing you that in today's NBA, you don't have to look any further than the Raptors or any further than the Pistons to see that these rebuilds can be fast-tracked nowadays in the NBA. And that's even without a generational talent like Cooper Flagg. But you get some of these players who can either knock it down from downtown or you get a really elite defensive guard. You know, that changes the way that you are able to play. And because of how teams are built nowadays, it doesn't take all that much time to go through one of these rebuilds like we saw teams of the past do. Look at the Spurs. They've been rebuilding for 6 years, and now they're a legitimate title contender in the West. So I say that because the Mavericks, yes, are having a really hard season, but they have Cooper Flagg, who's gaining invaluable experience, and all they really need is another good draft, and you're looking at a team that can fast-track a rebuild really quickly.
Okay, so there's still hope
That's
to
what
be
we
had.
mean. There's more to take away.
And sometimes you have to go through rough patches. You have to go through the thunderstorm to
Yes.
get to the rainbow,
The
right?
hills and valleys, right? Hills and valleys.
But let's talk about it because you're saying that the draft is coming. So what are we going to be looking for? Are we going to be looking for shooters? Because I know right now, despite the tough shooting night we had the other day, there were some bright spots there. So is that what we're looking for coming up?
They're looking for a lot.
Okay.
They're looking for a lot. I think, yes, you can never have enough shooters in the NBA. Max Christie is supposed to be one of those guys. He's in a funk for real right now. He was 1 of 11 in the loss to Toronto. You can't have one of your most consistent shooters going 1 of 11 from the floor. But I will say, On the other side of things, Daniel Gafford with a season-high 21 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double for him. He went 10 of 10 from the floor. So polar opposite of what we saw out of Christie. Daniel Gafford, not really sure where that came from other than the fact that maybe he's just healthy. But that's something that he certainly wants to continue to build on through these next, 18 games of the season.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, we'll hold on for the next 18 games, and we'll keep a positive attitude. Thanks, Michelle, for joining us. Mavs play in Atlanta tonight versus the Hawks. Then they're in Memphis on Thursday to play the Grizzlies. You can watch the games on our sister station, KFAA Channel 29. And to learn more, go to WFAA.com/KFAA. This Mavs Mania is sponsored by the On Time Experts.
Live, this is Good Morning Texas.
We're going to check in with Paige here in a second. She's out there tiptoeing in the tulips, but I add, hopefully she is staying dry because the tulips are getting a little watering right now.
A little water coming down,
drizzle.
yeah. Some light rain and drizzle out there for you this morning. Out at the airports, DFW airport right now, 71 degrees, gusty south winds, 20 miles per hour sustained right now. Coming back out to Love Field, no issues out there for the morning flights at the airport, but by late afternoon, early evening especially, there will be some travel disruptions. All right, here's what it looks like on radar. Very light rain, but some embedded thunderstorms as well. So as I mentioned earlier this morning, throughout daybreak, some rumbles of thunder, and we were getting that up into Collin County there, over toward Plano, pushing up toward Frisco and McKinney here this morning. And that light rain, a little drizzle, a few sprinkles down into Dallas as well here this morning. As we zoom out a little bit more, not going to have anything real widespread, certainly nothing strong or severe between now and midday today. Won't be until we get into the afternoon when we do anticipate those thunderstorms to get going across the area. So anywhere from after 2 o'clock till about 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight, widespread rain and thunderstorms moving in. So again, we do have that weather alert in place because of the strong, potentially severe thunderstorms that we will likely see for some later today. Now, we do have that level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms along west of I-35W as we get into this afternoon and evening. Large to very large hail, perhaps those 60+ mile per hour winds, and that low tornado threat. Does not mean everyone will see severe weather, and that does across North Texas today, but we do have that enhanced level 3 risk, and you see that level 2 as we head a little farther east, and then that shifts east as we head on into tomorrow. That severe weather threat does, but we'll have some morning storms, and again in our afternoon hours as well, I think east of Dallas and Fort Worth. Now, beyond the next couple of days, once we get past today and tomorrow, we'll start to see things settling down across the area as we look at that 14-day forecast for you. The weather alerts for today and tomorrow. Cooler on Thursday. Sunshine is back, though, as we wrap up the week going into the weekend. Those highs in the upper 70s and low 80s, and then turning cooler for St. Patrick's Day there on Tuesday before we get back into the 70s and 80s late next week. All right, Aaron, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. If you've been waiting for that first real sign of spring, you guys, this is it. Dallas Blooms is back at the Dallas Arboretum, transforming 66 acres with more than 500,000 blooming bulbs and a spectacular celebration of the season. Paige is live at the Dallas Arboretum to tiptoe through the tulips. Hello, Paige.
If you need a little dose of some spring fever, well, this is the place to get it, because check it out. It is all in bloom here at the Dallas Arboretum. Absolutely stunning. As you heard, over 500,000 tulips are in their glory. And this, in my opinion, the Dallas Arboretum is the jewel, the crown jewel of North Texas. There's so much to see, and this is the time of year to see it. This is Sabina Carr. Good morning to you.
Hi, Paige. Thank you for being out here today.
I am so happy to be here. This is something I look forward to every single year. It is stunning. So for visitors who are coming, what can they expect?
Millions of tulips and blooms with cherries and azaleas and hyacinth. The daffodils are just starting to calm down now. But Dallas Blooms is the unofficial arrival of spring in the city of Dallas and the North Texas region. So here we are again.
Here we are again.
Yeah.
And every year it just doesn't disappoint.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about how the garden kind of changes and transforms as the tulips begin to bloom.
So the tulips are really the star of the show of Dallas Blooms, and those are planted at the first freeze, just after the first freeze, more than 500,000. We do late season, early, and mid, so we have different blooms at different times. So what you're seeing now is just our late season starting to come up. So we should have beautiful, brilliant color for the next 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on Mother Nature.
Depending on Mother Nature, but I have to say, even in an environment like this where it's a little bit overcast, in some ways it also enhances the colors of the blooms. This is a great opportunity for people to come and also take pictures, and there's so many memories to be made. This destination is just fertile, no pun intended, for this. In fact, this is where my husband and I had our very first date at the Dallas Arboretum, and I imagine you hear stories like that day after day.
All the time. One, I love your story. Thank you for sharing that. And we do. We have generations of Dallas that have been here for, I don't know, the Arboretum's been open more than 44 years now. And so we've had multiple generations make many memories here, and Dallas Blooms is definitely one of them. But we do festivals all year round, so there's always something to see here.
Well, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's spectacular, but there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. Let's talk about what you do to prepare for Dallas Blooms each year.
Every single year, our horticulture team has to place the order in the summer. So they're already, and before they place an order, they have to know the color patterns, the textures, the plays, the different tulips they want to buy. Then we have to put our order in Holland. And that takes months and months in advance. Then the armies get out there and they go in the first, freeze and just plant them all out. And we hope within February, the first week, we've got this beautiful, spectacular canvas of color, which we do.
I love it. It is a canvas with color. And speaking of Holland, as you mentioned before, this is really the one destination where you can see this many tulips outside of Amsterdam area and the Holland area. This is a great representation of what you can experience, and you can do so right here in your own backyard. It's a perfect place to also come with your family and enjoy a picnic. And there's all kinds of activities that are happening throughout Dallas
the time.
Blooms.
Yes, there are always activities for kids and for families, and mostly on weekends. But this week, and I believe next, is spring break. So bring the kids out. And even if it's drizzling or a little rainy like it might be today, bring your umbrellas and your rain boots like I'm wearing and just go have some fun.
That is so true. That is so true. This is a great spring break destination, and because of the sheer size of this property, you're not going to run into all of the crowds that you might do, say, like if you went to an amusement park or a water park. This is something that you can come and you can enjoy. What do you think surprises people most when they come out and visit?
I think the sheer volume of color and what's in bloom, right? And so I think that's the most surprising thing for people. You can hear them, certain colors just dazzle their minds. They're like, never seen a color like that before, that bright, that brilliant. And so we're really proud of that.
And also just seeing every age being impacted by this. This is truly an experience, no matter what your age, from children, and just seeing them scamper along and have the opportunity to also learn about the process of flowers and horticulture and its importance to our environment, and then be able to see them in full bloom is exciting. I want people to know that they can come and visit. This is happening right now, and it continues through April the 12th. You can find out all the information by going to DallasArboretum.org. Sabina,
thank you.
Happy spring!
Happy spring!
Come on, let's just do it. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sabina.
Thanks,
and
y'all.
I'll send it back to you.
Sabina's got the right way of thinking. She said, just dance in the rain, enjoy. Yes, indeed. All right, well, as they just said, spring break, it is upon us. And if you're looking for family fun, our friend Emily Kaufman, the travel mom, is back to share yet another terrific idea.
Are you ready for some family fun this spring? Greetings from Great Wolf Lodge, where no matter what the weather is outside, the temperature's perfect in their indoor water parks. There's so much to enjoy about a Great Wolf Lodge, from water slides and lazy rivers to wave pools and so much more. If the water park isn't for you, or you're looking for even more, check out Adventure Park, where you can enjoy Magic Quest, a ropes course, bowling alley, or mini golf. And when it comes to dining and other special events, Great Wolf Lodge has something for everyone. Great Wolf Lodge is already a terrific value because your water park admission is included with your room rate. And now, if you book before May 13th for stays all the way through June, you can save up to 40% off using the promo code SPRING. Great Wolf Lodge has family fun for everyone, whether you're a grandmother like me, a teenager, or even a toddler. Great Wolf has got lots of ways for you to interact with your family, creating magical memories that will last an entire lifetime. There's a Great Wolf Lodge within a 4-hour drive from 90% of the country and 22 locations to choose from. Go to greatwolf.com to learn more.
So much fun. Watching that was like a flashback for me. I actually used to work at Great Wolf Lodge when I was 16 years old. So love to see that. You can find The Travel Mom on both Instagram and Facebook at The Travel Mom, or you can go to thetravelmom.com for many more travel ideas. Sip award-winning wines from more than 50 wineries tomorrow on GMT. Where to get your Texas Hill Country Wineries Wine and Wildflowers Journey Passport. And saddle up for Taste Texas tomorrow on GMT. Chef Lori is back in the GMT kitchen to show you how to make another tasty dish with Lone Star Roots. And what's done in the dark, it will come to the light, you guys. Director and filmmaker Dr. Ali breaks down what audiences can expect when the curtains open for his new play, Secret Sins. But next on today's show, you're not gonna believe what our next guest can do. Look at her right now, my goodness. Cirque du Soleil performer Penelope is in the house with a preview of their newest big top spectacle coming to North Texas. Keep it right here. When you think of the breathtaking artistry of Cirque du Soleil, you probably picture gravity-defying acrobatics and performances, but the newest show, Cirque du Soleil Echo, takes that wonder to a whole new level. And one of the most jaw-dropping moments features the first ever duo hair suspension act in a Cirque production. And we have the performer behind that incredible feat. This is Penelope, and she is here this morning to tell us all about this show, but of course to perform for us as well, which is so exciting. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So glad to have you here. Welcome to North Texas. This is your first time.
Thank you. Actually, I've been here in 2022 with another Cirque du Soleil show twas for the Christmas time.
Yeah. Okay, so you're very familiar with Texas then.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but I'm happy to be back.
Oh, we're so glad that you're back. So you started at a very early age, which is so crazy. So who influenced you and made you want to start training for something like this?
It was definitely my mom. She was a dancer, and when I was like a 3 years old child, she opened her dance school, so I was always like hanging out there, like watching what she does. Like I used to tap in her tap shoes and stuff like that, so it was definitely my mom. So.
Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. So it's basically in you at this point.
Yeah.
So when did you fall in love then with the circus arts?
Yeah, that was when I was around 8, 9 years old.
Wow, so you were young still.
Yeah, and it was like my rhythm is not really good. And it was also my mom, and she was like, all dancing, maybe you should do something else.
Maybe we try something different.
Exactly, I was really bendy. So I saw a Cirque du Soleil show, and they did contortion, and I was like, oh my God, like that's for me. I want to try this. And then I kept just bending in my room and kept going. Yeah.
And here you are today. But you know what? Shout out to Mama for being honest with you and saying, listen, honey, let's take it in a different direction. So you actually joined the circus when she was just a teenager. So you basically did everything young. And so tell me, how did you get your start? How did you find that first act that you were a part of?
Yeah, so it was quite interesting because Austria, there's not much of a circus scene happening there. Yeah. And it's like one of those ones where I told people, I want to be a circus performer when I grow up. Oh, that's not a real job. Like, that's not, you know, that kind of thing. So,
but you pushed through all the negativity.
Yeah, I said yes to every single gig that I could get, like every little party in the village.
Yes.
Like I was there performing and stuff. And then like, it was, like you meet people, and then one was like, okay, hey, I have this like a little bit bigger gig. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yes.
And it just kind of grew.
Like, yeah, exactly. Wow, and like I was super lucky. Like my school was always supportive. They were always like, okay, yeah, you can do this contract for 2 months and then come back.
Yes, yes. Okay. So let me ask you, because you didn't start, we just talked about the hair suspension. You guys, she literally hangs from her hair. But we're not talking about that. I mean, we are talking about that today. You're not going to perform that today for us, mostly because we don't have anything to suspend her from. But what was the moment when you were like, I could hang from my hair?
Yes, I was actually performing in Australia in a show. I did aerial hoop, and we had a hair suspension girl. And when I saw it the first time live, I was like, there was this moment of fascination of like, oh my God, I can't look at this because she's hanging from her hair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like the way you move and like the way how you have everything free, your whole body and stuff. Like there's like this sort of fascination. So I was like, I really wanna, first of all, try it out and see what it feels, but also like it has like some sort of fascination when I saw it live for the first time.
Oh my goodness, but then you were like, okay, I'm gonna use my skills and I'm gonna make it happen.
Yes, exactly.
And then you brought those skills to Cirque, which is so
Yeah.
exciting. And your act in Echo is the hair suspension performance. And so tell me, look at that, you guys. Did you just see that? So stinking good. What makes it so unique, you think, besides obviously
Yeah.
the hair portion?
It's actually really unique because it's the first time on Cirque du Soleil that we have a dual hair suspension act, and I'm really proud because like my former partner Charlotte and I, we created this act during pandemic. Like we were bored and we were like, hey, like we both do hair hanging.
Another pandemic idea.
And exactly, and it's like hair suspension, yes, there's only like so much that you can do solo, like you can do the splits and stuff like that. But when you're two people, it's like out of a sudden, like it's a whole new world of like shapes and just like mirror images and stuff like that that you can create. And so it's really cool. It's
So
really
you're
unique.
literally connected to her hair then as well.
Yes, so basically now like Danira, my new partner, like she's upside down and I'm upside down, and either like the other one is hanging from the hair.
Yeah. How do you prepare one's body and hair for this?
It is a discipline, like it is different to like contortion or handstands. Because contortion handstands, you just warm up and like you just get the body ready. The hair, it's like, you just have to really, it's almost like a meditation, I would say a little bit. Like you have to just be like, okay, like you breathe into the pain and you're like, okay, then, and it's more like a form of meditation, I would feel, yes.
You have a very good mindset, because I know y'all heard her just say that she was in pain, but she's doing it, and she's doing it for Cirque and for us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You're not going anywhere though. Cirque du Soleil brings its dazzling new big top spectacle Echo to Lone Star Park in Grand Prairie, April 9th through May 9th. You can still get tickets and learn so much more online at cirquedusoleil.com/echo. But now Penelope isn't going anywhere, you guys. She's sticking with us to perform some of her contortionist act for us. Turn it up, you guys. Penelope, take it away.
The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over.
Last week, the Women's Chorus of Dallas, they brought their musical talents to the GMT stage and took us to church while they did it. They were fantastic, and now you have a chance to see them for yourself. Their signature concert, Voices of Women, returns to Moody Performance Hall on March 31st at 7:30 p.m. under the direction of Artistic Director Melinda M. Thurn. The concert features a special collaboration with Dallas Black Dance Theater's Encore Company and student performers from both Dallas ISD University and Dallas College. The night promises to bring a wide range of musical styles and perspectives and lived experiences that honor the strength, resilience, and artistry of women across generations. Tickets are available now at the Women's Chorus of Dallas.com, but this morning, one lucky GMT viewer is about to win tickets. Call 214-977-6008 or 888-446-8880 for your chance to win. All you got to do is be the 8th caller, you guys, and win those 2 tickets. Congratulations to our winner ahead of time, and enjoy the show.
Wardrobe for our hosts is sponsored by Dillard's at North Park Center.
My favorite type of viewer. It's the viewer who makes it to the end of the show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We had some really cool things on the show. Contortionists, wonderful conversations, the Mans. If you missed anything from today's show, remember you can always rewatch GMT on your own time on the free to download WFA Plus streaming app for your TV, but you can also download it to your phone as well to keep up with us. But that replay of GMT will happen at 1 p.m. today on Plus and on KFAA channel 29, so make sure you tune in there. And if you want more GMT, just go to YouTube, type in Good Morning Texas, and we actually break the segments out for you right there. So making it easy for you. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. But until then, have a good morning, Texas. I'll see you later.